I've made all the decisions. This is the board. These papers are the decisions. So, doing all the dunks.
You and me, babe. You and me, babe. It's just nothing else like you.
We're ready to go. This glaze is Waterfall Brown out of the Hasselbreath Ron book. Hasselbreath Roy. So somebody Hasselbreath and Ron Roy wrote a book, and they said this glaze, if this is a textbook, then this glaze is your final exam. And putting the glaze together, it's just like any other recipe. There's no reason why that should be difficult. What's difficult is getting it to do what it's supposed to do. Now, I've only seen this particular batch of glaze do that once, and it was in the kiln fire from the underworld. And after on the second fire of that, and so it looked like it needed to be thicker. So what I did was I ran I double dipped a couple of pieces. Okay, we'll make it thicker that way, right? We'll just double dip. Yeah, that didn't work. Still didn't do its thing. So I thought, okay, well, I could change the specific gravity, but I'm thinking about what Hasselbreath and Roy said about this being the final exam, if you will. And I thought, if I make it much thicker than that, it's gonna get too much on the pot. And if this is an issue in that it's the final exam, then maybe it's a flocculation issue. Now, what flocculating a glaze does is it fluffs up the particles so that they appear to be thicker when they're not actually thicker. And that's probably too much. So this is Epsom salts. I'm putting Epsom salts in this little tiny batch here until I can feel a difference in the thickness. And then I'm going to use that. Maybe this Epsom salts is old, or I didn't get it very concentrated. But then we're going to glaze this last little piece in this flocculated, that doesn't seem to be flocculating. Waterfall Brown. If I can actually get it flocculated. Well, that didn't work like I thought it would. I put like half the bottle in there, which is unheard of. And doesn't seem to be any more flocculated or whatever the word would be at that point. So, what can you do? You know, I went ahead and dipped the leaf. We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe it's doing more than what I thought it was doing. So, flocculation affects the electromagnetic charge of a glaze. And makes the clay particles push apart. Well, if there's not very much clay in this glaze, which I don't know, it's been too long since I made it up, I'll have to check the recipe, then it's not going to flocculate, which either way, whether it will or won't flocculate, it kind of points to the nature of the problem in that it has absolutely nothing to do with the recipe. You can make the recipe up right every time, which is kind of the gist I was getting when they said this is, if you can do this and get the same results every time, you're a genius. They didn't say it that way, but that's what they meant. So yeah, I mean, that would definitely point to that type of a retort if, you know, it's a flocculation issue and there's not hardly any clay in here to flocculate to begin with. But knowing that means that you can fix it. And I'm thinking I'm going to take a page from the John Britt book. Thank you, John Britt. You've given us so much. And 2% bentonite. Question is, how do you get bentonite into a bucket of glaze after you've already mixed it? But that would up the clay amount without something to test. Some of you may have thought that last bit was me mopping. But those of you who know me, Superman, know that that was not me mopping. That was me smearing around all the water that I just spilled. I think I'm finally done. Think being the operative word there. Superman said he's going to take me to dinner. So I get date night for all my hard work. They're cute. Yeah, I hope they come out. Some of these celadons, they lay on, and some celadons show a lot of texture because they're so stinking stable, and some are kind of self-leveling, and some show all the little inflections in how thick it gets. So if you get a drip on it, then it'll show the drip. Lots of these have drips. So we'll get a very good idea as to how stable these are. We want them to be a little less stable than we want them to be self-leveling. We'll see. Time to load a kiln. Finally. That would definitely, Emily, I just stuck my hand in the bucket of glaze thinking it was my rinse water. Are you kidding me? Glaze takes it out of me, y'all.